we're going to talk about Walton. Is it a good time to buy Walton? That's what we have to examine. Now, to answer that question straightforward, I cannot answer that for you, but I can say if you've been following Walton for at least over 2 months now, you've seen some pretty high prices compared to where it's at now, 852. My question to you would be, if you believed in Walton at these prices at 842, why would you not believe in Walton now at 475? So people were buying Walton, talking about how at some point Walton's going to be a who knows how high people were saying it, up to $100 cryptocurrency, and now they were buying at 871, jumping in, but now all of a sudden it's pulled back to 475, and I want to know why people aren't trying to buy Walton and calling this a steal or a good buy or an awesome buy. Well, if you don't know anything about Walton, let's take a look at the technology behind Walton. It's an RFID. So if you know about RFID, you know it's been a controversial technology ever since inception. You don't always have to put an RFID chip underneath your skin. You can put it into anything, right? You can put it on your keychain. It doesn't have to go in your forearm, in your arm, or in the back of your neck, or in your forehead. So RFID basically stores information on the chip. It could store financial information on the chip, but that's what Walton is. And here's a letter to the Walton family. Let's check it out. First off, we would like to thank all of you for your continued love and support. When we announced testing back on October 30th, we received more than 400 volunteer applications. While we would have loved to accept every applicant, we selected 60 volunteers to aid in alpha testing the Walton parent chain. From November 6th through the 10th, we tested the Walton chain, blockchain browser, wallet, and all the related full node functions, applications, and security. During the test, we received more than 140 suggestions from our testers that helped us further strengthen Walton chain. We have been implementing the best ideas from our volunteers systematically and hope to include all valid suggestions down the line. As an appreciation to our testers, all of our volunteers will receive WTC as a reward for their energy, hard work, and enthusiasm. As of November 10th, we are happy to say that the alpha testing of the Walton parent chain is complete. Currently, the R&D team is working feverishly to improve the parent chain system based on everyone's feedback. We ask that you continue to watch for the release of the beta test in December that will incorporate submitted suggestions and improvements to the parent chain system. In the meantime, we encourage you to continue to participate in the overall development of Walton chain. Thank you. Talk again, Walton chain, blah, 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 November 14th, 2017. So, you know, they've developed their technology in alpha. They rolled it out. They tested it, which is great because, you know, nothing worse than rolling it out and then having a bunch of glitches and errors in it, and then having people say, "Oh, this is a mess up. This is a joke." Whatever people would say, right? We've seen that with Apple. Apple rolls out software updates. Everyone gets all upset. Couple days go by. They iron out the kinks and everything's okay. But with a new tech like this, it's really important that they roll it out first and foremost. So here you have Project Phase 1.0. You can read all this. I'm not going to sit here and continue to read for you. You need to come on here and check it out if you're really interested in adding Walton chain to your portfolio. And here we go. So here's the team. Really need to know about this. Who's behind it? What the team's up to. As you can see, these guys are out of Japan or out of China, so they're connected with the rest of the world because you know that China has a tendency to isolate themselves from the rest of the world, whereas some of the most successful businesses in the world are Chinese, but they're not the ones that are being communist about their approach to business, and so. And I use Alibaba, Jack Ma as an example of, let's just say these guys follow Jack Ma and his, let's say, globalized approach to business and not just a sovereign approach to business. So if these guys are able to take a page out of Jack Ma's book, they will achieve what they're trying to achieve. If they end up falling victim to the communist mentality that China's been known for, it's going to be hard to say that Walton Chain will be able to revolutionize as the tech. But I believe they're also out of, so here you go, China's top tech companies and clothing businesses. So they are a textile-based business, which is interesting. But I think they have some connections with Singapore. And Singapore is like Hong Kong in the sense that it's Chinese, but it allows the Chinese business platform to perform outside of Chinese guidelines. Kind of like, I guess you would say another one would be Macau. But, and I'm not putting down China, but I know that China recently banned ICOs, they recently banned exchanges, and we know about the Great Firewall of China, where Facebook, Google, they're not allowed in there, and China is one of the largest countries on earth, but they're not participating in the global community, but they want to reap all the benefits of the global community. And that's been one of the big things about China, whereas some of the businesses like Alibaba, who are dancing on the global stage, Jack Ma has to petition the Chinese government and explain to them the benefits of working on the global stage. And truth is, I think China, if they started really dancing on the global stage and participating in the global community, knocking down the barriers that they have, like the Great Firewall of China, start participating in the global community a little bit more. Xi Jinping, he's the president of China. He met with Trump and he was talking about how important it is for China to have inclusion into the global community. Obviously, we don't know how that's going to affect Bitcoin and cryptocurrency, but I'm saying that Walton Chain is revolutionary. They have a team in place. Their team is solid. They're on to something here. They've got tons of potential to grow, and a lot of it's going to come down to whether or not China is going to stand in their way. The government of China is going to stand in their way from reaching their full potential. But there is no doubt in my mind that if the Chinese government does not stand in Walton Chain's way, that they will be able to achieve what they're set out to do. This team will do it. There's no doubt about it. And so as an investor in Walton Chain, as long as the Chinese government stays out of these guys' way and lets them do what they need to do to bring value to the global community and cryptocurrency in general, Walton Chain, look at this total supply. Yeah, to say this is going to be a $100 coin, that's not very hard to suggest. Okay, you know about Neo. We know Neo's been severely undervalued because of China's governmental policies, and we also know that Walton is being affected by that also. If you wanted to pick up Walton, you can pick it up on Binance, KuCoin, HitBTC, Cause. Now, this is another problem that Walton has been experiencing, is they're not on very many exchanges. They're not on Bittrex. I mean, Bittrex is the largest exchange around. They just get added to Bittrex, and you're going to see this price skyrocket, guys. This price is going to double more than likely, okay? Because if you just look at, I don't know, let's look at Omise Go. Let's just compare. So these guys are out of Singapore. Let's see how much market volume comes from Bittrex. Okay, they're not even on Bitfinex either. So 23% of Omise Go's volume is off of Bittrex. No, wait, 33%, because you got to combine the Ether there's the Ether too. So the Ether doesn't make up too much of it, but most of it's Bitcoin and US dollars. So it's about 35% is Bittrex. And then Bitfinex makes up almost 40% of that volume. So you got to think, if Walton Chain was to get on Bitfinex and Bittrex, you see why I'm bringing this up. Because them not being on those two exchanges that make up a large volume, thankfully they're on Binance for the sake of Walton Chain, but they get inclusion into Bitfinex and Bittrex, and you're going to see this cryptocurrency pick up. And that's just a short-term pickup. We're not talking about the long-term potential that they have that as long as the Chinese government doesn't stand in the way of Walton, which is the concern that everyone has when they're investing in Walton. You guys can tell me I'm crazy, I'm off my rock, or whatever you want to say, but I know the truth is these guys will succeed and achieve what they're setting out to achieve as long as the Chinese government doesn't knock them off the road. And we'll see how that plays out. But yeah, let's see what's up with them on social media. So here we go. Joint effort with Taiwan. If you know anything about the politics of China, you know about Singapore, you know about Hong Kong, and you know about Taiwan. Taiwan independence. Taiwan wants independence from China because they want to be able to operate in a free market and be free, basically. So in a joint effort with Taiwan Cloud Service Association, Walton Chain Implementation Team, Xiamen IoT Technology will work with Zhengzhou municipal government to become the first blockchain industrial park and incubator in Fujian province. Okay, so there's some big news. That was November 20th. They're getting their account verified. You know, they're still. You get the sense that yes, they have potential, but because they're a Chinese company, they're still having a problem adapting to some of the things that connect them to the rest of the world. And I say that as a truthful statement because as an investor, you got to know about these things. Jack Ma is the standard that most Chinese businesses should be trying to follow. Alibaba has been very successful at achieving what it set out to do. And if you listen to Jack Ma talk on any symposium and any conversation, Jack Ma is an evangelist to the Chinese government, explaining to them the benefits of working in the global community and working with the global community more for China. And China, truth be told, has advanced a lot over the last, 2 or 3 decades because of going away from the communist ways and coming into more of the globalist, not being so isolated. That's just the truth, guys. You can look at it any which way, but the truth is the truth. All right. So Walton chain, I'm big on Walton. Like I said, I mean, we could see a price jump, just price action and getting added to 1 or 2 exchanges. This is a great price here, and yeah, I am looking to accumulate at this price. Let me know your thoughts. Thanks for watching, guys. This is Jeff with Altcoin Buzz. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and we'll see you next time.